That's what I'm gonna say on the thing too. What's going on, y'all? This is the Waiting Q podcast. This is gonna be episode 2, and I'm here with my co-host. Well, not my co-host, but go ahead, introduce yourselves.
It's your boy Dylan.
What's going on, y'all? It's Chato, Joey Chadass, Chad.
Bruh, you don't got
all platforms. Joey Chadass.
This is so childish, but we gonna jump right into it. No waste.
You did introduce yourself too.
I didn't I?
You said it's your host.
Oh, let me go back because you. Producer.
Yeah, this is an L producer. But that man Don in the building, man. But we gonna jump right into it. So we got this clip right here. It's been making the rounds on social media recently. This is gonna be a clip of, this is a guy who he's dating, I guess, a woman who has 3 other kids, and he has a son. And so he went to go get McDonald's for his son, but he didn't bring any food for the other 3 kids. So we're going to play the clip right now, and we're just going to give our opinions on what's going on here.
You know I don't get my food stamps to the 7. This is my problem. Then if you're trying to help out, though, you're not helping out. I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son. But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings? Them are his siblings, though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings because they're not eating from McDonald's. No. Why do I gotta put... No. He's not finna eat that at all if you can't bring it up for everybody.
How about to say?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
He going crazy.
You sound dumb.
Where are they daddies at? Nobody
He going crazy. Wait, for one...
Okay,
Well,
but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that look that I'm letting?
You saw how
one
silent
child
you got
eat
at the
McDonald's,
Red
the
Day
rest of the kids didn't eat no.
Hold on.
for one, we have to recognize, like, we got to understand.
Manipulating the situation.
Excuse me. We got to get into the
Guru
guru language. we got to get
Oh my God.
We got to get into the guru language with this one. So for one, like, we got to understand, are these 2 married or, like, we don't even know
I think
this.
they just dating.
Like, we got to understand, are they just dating? Because she keep on saying, like, these are their siblings. Those are not his
They're not
his son's
blood at
siblings.
all.
Those are not his kids at all. So for one, she keep on saying, how are you trying to
She was already in the wrong, bro, because of the fact that he bought his kids some food and she didn't feed her own kids.
that's what I'm saying.
So
She talking about
if he had never showed up with food, they'd still be hungry?
and then she talking about some of my food stamps don't come in till whatever.
I don't care when your
You
food
can't
stamps
even buy
come in.
McDonald's with food stamps.
I don't know, bro. There might be a way to finesse it.
Niggas, you can't buy McDonald's with food.
Then he went crazy talking about where the dad's at. See, at that point, that's kind of an L on himself though, because he the one dating her, but then gonna ask where the dad's at.
I mean, but she
I
got
guess he's
quiet.
just saying though, like,
What?
I'm getting my son food, let my son eat. But I see her point of saying, well, you can't feed him in front of one kid can't eat right, all the rest of them are
But
hungry. But
that's not
she,
his
I'm
fault.
about to say that's not
Buddy.
his fault.
Buddy already said, well, shoot, let him hop in my car. He can eat the food in the car, and they don't even gotta know.
And then she was like, not going.
I'm about to say,
I can
she
see
said
if they
he
were.
couldn't even get his
I
kid
can see
out
if
the
they were
house.
all his kids, but he only brought his favorite kid food, and it'd be like you can't just bring one.
I can
kid
see if they
food.
were married. And
Yeah,
like,
they-
you're just not gonna feed all of them. You only gonna feed your son.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Baby
they not
daddy,
even
baby
married.
mama.
We assuming that they not even married, and she talking about some of those are his siblings too. They is not related
see,
at
the
all.
problem with this is.
This is why you.
Oh, keep going.
Yeah,
Nah,
break it
I
down.
was gonna say the problem is that she knows she's wrong because she's recording this.
And she loud.
I'm saying and why is he why they outside with it?
She.
He pulled up. He ain't even in the building. He just pulled up.
That's what I'm
She
saying.
he got the food for his son. She like, where are the what was like?
He thought
I
she.
didn't-
She thought he was gonna come with 4 bags. Then he pulled up with 1. So
All right,
she
now
like-
he is a little wrong. He pulled up to the scene with just so. All right, see,
he get pulled up with a Happy Meal.
I see his point though.
I mean, I see his
If
point, but
it-
I
if
see
it was
have
me-
a baby with a girl that has a whole bunch of babies, I'm just taking
How
care
do
of
we
my baby.
even? How do we even know that that's her child? You get what I'm saying? How do we know that they created that? What if that's his son from another woman as well?
Well, everybody in the comment section are like,
Oh no.
she out of pocket. Sounds like a problem. You
That's what I'm
can't
saying.
feed
It
son.
backfired on her. She thought she was gonna expose
At
him.
least he brought food for his kid to eat. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he bought food for his kid. Okay, his kid's staying with her. He bought food for his kid. You would think because they all there, she was like, already fed everybody. But you bought a McDonald's too. Okay, cool. Now she like, nah, he can't eat. My kids not.
If my kids
he
ain't
coming
eating,
in.
if one can't eat, nobody can't eat.
Yeah, it just got
That's kind of wicked.
Yeah, that is.
Kenzie, how do
real
you handle this situation? What would AMS?
This man said, "How would you handle this situation?"
How?
If I came to bring my son food to eat, and then she ain't let me in because her other babies that she had by other people didn't eat yet, I'd be like, that's crazy. I'd probably still just go in there anyways and get my kids so he can eat.
Well, this is just all wrong for one, cause like we gotta assume that maybe like. What if this is her apartment? It's so many L's that's going in. Like they.
But it's like, imagine if she had a baby by 4 different dudes and all.
It's only
like,
3 kids.
I told you, she got quiet.
But if she had a baby, that's what I'm saying. If she had babies with like 3 to 4 different dudes, then it's like, bro, come on. You know, I'm just trying to figure.
Is she already a 304?
That's what I'm saying. You already.
Your
time is over.
She already a 304, so at this point it's kind of like, bro, I'm gonna feed my kids. Like Buddy said, she ain't say nothing after he said where the daddy's at. She got quiet and she tried to switch the topic. And
this comment right here basically sums it all up. Her food stamps not coming on until the 7th has nothing to do with the fact that he wants to provide for his kid. Where their daddy's at was accurate for him to say. Now, if he's her current man, returning home with food for everyone because you live there too would be appropriate. But something is telling that's what I said.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't fully know the ins and outs of the situation because we don't know if he left and she assumed that. Like, let's say that he left and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go get food." And then he just came back with food for one person while she thought maybe he was getting food for everybody.
That's what I said.
That's one thing. But if he was like maybe like, I don't know, coming home from work or just, I don't know, maybe if he was just coming home and he said, you know, I'm bringing my son something to eat or whatever, then that it's just completely different situations.
This comment sounds just like me. Y'all see how quiet she got when he said where
you literally said that.
Let me see if I can find the actual point.
Yeah, we gotta read.
Or if he just was even just bringing food because he wanted to see his kid and bring his kid some food real quick while he talked to him, then it's like, let him bring his kid some food.
We don't know the full. That's the thing about.
He don't look like he like trying to be their stepdad or like trying to like
maybe
take care of everybody.
What if they not? What if they not even?
Yes. How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Nobody told you to talk to mother.
Now he can talk.
He said nobody told you to.
Okay,
He should have said nobody told you to be a 304. That's what he should have said. That's what he should have said. No, but for real. But that's the thing with clips. You don't kind of know the ins and outs of the situations. You only have that one clip, so we got to speculate. Are they dating? Are they married? Did he say he was going out to get food and then she just assumed? Or like, we don't know where he was coming from. It's a lot of stuff we don't know. But at the end of the day, man, this is why you don't deal with situations like this, period. So like me, I'll never be in it.
I'd be like, nah.
Me, I would never.
Like, I'm about to be single.
I'm about to say me, I would never even be in a situation like this. But for the people that has to indulge in this kind of activity,
I would never be in a situation like this.
Yeah, I wouldn't. But for the people that gotta indulge in stuff like this,
I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Cause that ain't it.
Yeah, that ain't for me.
Next, we moving on to Dylan Boy. Well, it's not Dylan Boy.
He said Dylan Boy.
But the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen.
What a bitch on this.
That's his boy.
This man said Dylan Boy.
R. Kelly sentenced to 30 years in prison in a sex trafficking case.
For young women in his own sexual
gratification.
Using for his own sexual
for decades. For prosecutors have said.
I ain't gonna cap. R. Kelly music is pretty good.
What's the?
I don't know. Got this.
I don't know the ins and outs of this though. Like what the article say.
He just been sentenced for like all that stuff he did way back in the past, kind of.
Okay. But I thought they already ruled that junk out.
What do you mean ruled it out?
Or was that?
He was found guilty. He was in I think prison. They showed him in there singing songs. They're like, sing, Kelly, sing. He was.
What's that?
He
Who was the
wasn't-
artist? Not R. Kelly. The dude that just got released on that stuff. Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, maybe you getting them mixed up.
Didn't Bill Cosby just get out?
But that had nothing to do with underage women, did it?
I think it may have.
No,
Bill
that
Cosby
was just for drug.
quaaluding
I
them.
about to say that was just for drugging people,
Yeah, he was quaaluding.
allegedly.
I think Bill Cosby just got money. He had to pay the price to the higher ups to be able to get out. But that's just me personally.
He said, but that's just me personally.
You do it over there, Quincy.
But yeah, that I don't know. I don't really know too much to say about this topic. But I mean,
Yeah, ain't really much to really say.
it is what it is. I mean,
R&B ain't been the same since.
a lot of y'all is already sex trafficking and don't even know it. If you fly a girl out, you sex trafficking. But we ain't gonna talk about that. Let's go on to the next topic.
What? That was a
No,
wild
that's
thing.
considered. If you don't know, that is literally considered sex trafficking. If the girl can prove, like, if you can prove that you flew her out to have sex with her, then it's sex trafficking. But it doesn't get reported
So
as
is it
that.
still sex trafficking that she flies you out to have sex?
Yeah, but the
It was
thing.
the same thing.
But they say that, but they made, or unless they. Just
But the thing-
changed
the
that
way they
law,
get it
but
covered-
They say that man can't get raped. It's called something else.
I don't know about that, but the thing is,
It
like,
is.
you can easily prove, like, it's
research.
what's it called?
So if she flew out
plausible.
just to see you for vacation,
It's plausible deniability.
you
If
just happen to have a little.
that's what I'm saying, that's how you use plausible deniability. You say I
Yeah, Lord,
didn't,
this
I
ain't
didn't, I didn't fly her
Google
out for
talk.
sex. I just flew her out. You know, she a friend. We just wanted to have fun, and whatever happened. But I didn't fly her out for sex. But if it can actually be proved that you flew somebody out for sex, then that's
So would it be
considered
sex trafficking if you can prove that?
But I thought
you finna
trafficking
go-
was like more than one person, not just one person.
no.
Yeah, I think it is. I think sex trafficking is more than one person.
Let me actually see.
Because it'd be like if you went to go, if you were about to go see a girl and you're like, oh yeah, you know what we finna
Like
do
if you
tonight.
like
And it's
that's
oh,
that's
sex
where the whole
trafficking.
that's where the whole
Or you talking about because she got on a plane?
that's where the dang what's
you have
the,
to specify.
I forgot the
I don't know.
term.
It says the action or practice of illegally transporting people from one country
So
or
it says
area
illegal.
to another for the
If
purpose
it's legal,
of
then-
sexual exploitation.
If it's illegal, I think that's like, oh,
How do you
you
define
get a girl, you ask her to go on a date with you,
Where
but
about
then
one or
you do
more
that, you
persons
drug her
are
a drink,
subject
and
to
then you
engagement
trying to
commercial
take her home against her will. That's sex trafficking. Not
No, that's
you get on
not
this-
that's not
You
sex.
get on this plane for to come over here and have
No,
a good time,
if
and she's
the-
like, okay.
I'm
But it
t-
have to be
Dylan-
younger than 18.
Dylan, I'm telling you,
And it has
if you
to be
can
force, fraud, or coercion.
That's what
Dylan,
I'm saying. I don't
Dylan,
think
I'm
so.
telling you, if you can prove that it is,
Dino, I think you may be off.
I'm not off, bro.
Because if you're talking to a girl and she agrees to fly out just to fuck you and spend a little bit of time with you, I don't think that's sex.
Whoa.
That's
dude.
illegal. That's literally
I
illegal.
don't think that's illegal. I think if she doesn't know what's going on and you try to do it.
No.
I think she's under 18.
See, we
That too.
you guys gotta know the laws and stuff. What's illegal
But they saying forcibly. But
you
if
can
she
use
agrees to it.
you can use plausible denial.
And she
We
gets on the
already know
plane.
what the Me Too movement is. She can confirm to you that yes, I consent or whatever. But as we know, consent now can be taken away at any point in time.
Nah,
So,
I ain't
nah,
playing by no
I'm about
new
to say-
definitions.
No
Yeah.
shit, but that's the law though. It don't
Bro,
matter what.
like that,
Yes,
bro.
that's the law. They say consent can be taken away at any time. So
I mean,
if she
yeah.
goes,
Yeah, that makes-
if
I mean,
she
yeah, that
goes
makes
to
sense.
court and say, I did not consent this, or after the fact, I didn't want to do this.
But that's
that-
a little. That's
people
that's,
have
That's like
people.
that.
that's,
rape
that's like
stuff.
that's like you being
yeah.
like crying wolf though.
Okay,
Because she'll
but
be like,
we've already seen this in the news though. People.
But that's like Amber
That's
Heard.
the whole Me Too movement.
That's Amber Heard. She lied.
that's what-
But
saying.
that's not Me
But you
Too.
can't-
That's domestic violence and stuff. That's not sexual assault.
But you can't go and say, yeah, I want to sleep with him, and then y'all all sleep. You sleep with her, she sleep with you, and then later on be like, actually, I said
Yeah,
no
you
when I
can't
got
do
back
that.
to my house because I thought about it. That doesn't count.
That's already that's gone on.
But that doesn't make sense.
That
for
may
it to
not
be considered sexual
make sense
assault.
to you, but in the eyes of the law, it's a valid case. That's
No,
why
Yeah,
a
but
lot
how
of
is it valid?
It's a
If-
case, but it might
in the
not be
eyes of the
valid.
law, it's a valid case.
It might be a case, but I don't think it's a
But
valid.
that doesn't make any sense.
If you get a girl that agrees
It
to fly
don't make
out
sense
to
to
you,
you.
and she
No, not even the
agrees-
fly out part. If you and
It's
a girl
under-
are
if
having
you
sex
and-
and then she gets home and be like,
I
I can
feel
see-
like I was sexually assaulted. then she has a case in
But
court.
I know she can have a case in court for that. But I'm talking
But
about
she
she
consented
consented
to,
then,
that's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
later on.
But the thing
but
is,
I guess that's how all
if
these
you don't
cases
have
come up.
like proof, like say like if you
in
don't have
written or like,
like if you don't have a text message, like say if you go to court and she say, well, she verbally consented. If you don't have a voice recording or a text message saying blah blah blah, that's how
I see what you're talking
that's
about.
how
You get
what's his
jammed
name Johnny Depp. That's
why
how
you
he was
gotta
able to
make
get
them
away
sign the
because
papers.
he had proof and stuff like that. But
what
if
I'm
you
saying.
have
They
no
gotta sign the dotted
audio,
line when they
if
come
you don't
in.
have no audio recording, no written like or
But who would
text
do that?
messages.
Like,
That's
just
why
sleep
you have
together.
to. That's
It's an NDA.
That's why people use it.
That's what,
I
but that's
do
what
that.
celebrity stuff use. No regular person is like.
And that's why regular people get jammed up because they don't have
They
it.
just don't think.
But what I'm saying is, if you don't have a voice recording or like a
Every
screenshot
time
of
you
the
want to
text
sleep with a
message,
girl as a normie, as a civilian, you get an NDA.
yes.
I mean, you do gotta. I mean, I feel like that's.
Because if you
With
don't,
certain girls though,
but what
depending on the-
but what I'm
depending on
telling you,
what you're trying
if
to be
you,
on, you
bruh,
address it up
if
front.
you don't have it,
If you
when
gotta
you
make
go
them
to
sign
court,
an NDA, why are you even having sex with them in the first place?
because like think
That's
about
weird,
this, think
bro.
about this.
That's weird.
It don't matter because
That's
that's
what
how
you're saying, but you
normal.
gotta tell
Because at
girls,
that point, they
though,
don't really like you like
like,
that.
this
It's like,
That's
is
it's
how
all
not-
we
normal
doing,
people
this
is
is all
getting
we not
jammed
doing.
up though.
We're just getting food, not
Cause
getting
No, I
food.
understand.
Because
that
look,
part.
if you go to court, right, and you say, well, she verbally consented to me that
Just
we
gotta
can
tell
have
them how it
sex,
is.
but it doesn't matter. Because you can't, how can you verbally prove that she consented if you don't have no proof of that? They got to go on what she's saying. I got home and I felt sexually assaulted. Then that's just what it is. And that's how people get jammed up. That's why you got to have either the screenshots or
But I feel like the
you
one
gotta
that you were
confirm,
saying-
like, after she go home, did you have a good time? She says yes, blah, blah, blah. Now you have proof.
Did you have a good time? Confirm. Confirm.
I feel like
This
That's
is
what you-
weird behavior, bro.
That's what you gotta do.
No, I'm not saying it's not like that's not plausible. Like that all makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's like all.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It gotta
but
be
I still
extra,
don't
but we
think the
live
flying
in
out part-
different times now to where that's what you gotta do, or else you gonna end up like all these other
But
celebrities.
I don't
and
think
stuff.
that if you fly a girl out and something happens, that's gonna be a weak case because if
No,
she agrees if she agrees through physical saying.
But what they saying
yeah,
is we
I'm
don't
coming
know
to
what
see you.
happened. Okay, you say
Dylan-
y'all had a good time. She's like, nah, I didn't. There's no proof.
But
of
then
you.
still, it's
No,
still
he's
proof
talking
that
about
she got
the
on the
flying.
plane.
He's
She shouldn't
talking
even
about
get
the
on
flying
plane.
out part. If you fly a girl
Yeah.
out from a different city, that could be considered sexual. I'm just letting you know. But it doesn't get reported because you can't always use plausible deniability to say I didn't fly her out for sex. I flew her out because you could say we were friends. We just wanted to hang out, blah, blah, blah. But we had sex. You get what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
like it's gonna be a
So
weak case with her agreeing to go on the plane. That's my hope.
because she can just say we were friends. I had no idea that I was flying out for this situation. You get what I'm saying? It's easy
I
to
do get what you're saying, but
it's
I
easy to
get
use
it,
plausible
But
deniability.
it seemed like it would be a lot. Like it can't just all because how could she have proof that actually happened? Besides just face value, we using her word, but his word is saying this. It would have to be like she needs proof that he went way beyond what they thought was going on. And then for him to say, nah, we just had a good time. And she's like, no, we didn't. Like, for him to have proof that they just had a good time and no extra stuff happened, they would both can't use hereby, word by mouth. But like you're saying, people, I guess, believe women more. But
Exactly.
still,
That's
if-
the
if we-
hashtag believe all women.
it needs to be disbanded.
Believe all women.
But if we're gonna have one side saying you need proof so that way you're not, the perpetrator. So the other side needs proof to prove they're the victim. That like the hashtag believe all women makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you don't have proof saying y'all had fun and she don't have proof proving that you took advantage of her, then no one has proof. So why is there a case in the first place? Just throw that out. Like
Exactly.
it happened.
But that's the
We
thing.
don't know what happened.
But that's the thing about men's rights. A lot of emphasis is being put on women's rights, but men's rights is being ignored. And when people get jammed, when men get jammed up and things start happening, we don't care. Society doesn't care. But when it comes to women's rights, we gotta be activists. But let's go on.
I'm about to say, speaking of women's rights,
I'm about-
let's segue right into Roe v. Wade. So the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade and the right to abortion upheld for decades. Now,
Read
I
this
want-
about
I
it.
want-
Before we start, can you read the actual case
The original
details,
case?
or like the details within it. Because I heard a little bit about it.
I want-
know about it. I know about the abortion.
I
trying to
really
take it
don't
away.
actually know much
It's
about the
certain
original
rules.
case.
Yeah, but I was like, we need to do it like refresher on.
I about to say
what-
I need Joey to take over this one because Joey is
see.
the
do Ozark or something. That might be-
Ozark.
It might be a website or Oz.
What is
I think
Ozark?
it starts with an O. It says like the case briefing.
The only
Okay, so
Ozark I
basically-
know is the Netflix.
So basically, what it is, it said Roe v. Wade was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court, which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States generally protects a woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion.
But what was the actual case?
It was Roe v. Wade. It established a woman's right to have an abortion without undue restrictive interference from the government. The court held that a woman's right to decide for herself to bring or not bring a pregnancy to term is guaranteed underneath the 14th Amendment. A Texas law prohibiting abortions has been challenged by an unmarried pregnant woman, Roe, and the court ruled in her favor, finding that the state had violated her right to privacy in attempting to balance the state's rights against the rights of the individual. Justice Harry A. Blackman held that the state's legitimate interest in protecting potential life increased as the pregnancy advanced, while allowing that the state may forbid abortions during the third trimester. Blackman wrote that a woman is entitled to obtain an abortion freely after consulting with a doctor in the first trimester and in an authorized clinic in the second trimester. In Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization decided the U.S. Supreme Court overturned as well as praying. Okay.
So we gotta lay out the facts.
So really, what Roe v. Wade was basically saying is a woman has the right to abortion, and it's a constitutional right. My
Put it
whole
on
thing
full screen.
is full screen like for us.
Yeah.
All right, bet. So for my whole thing is nowhere in the Constitution does it give you the right to an abortion, because constitutional rights are like rights for everybody. So like first, like freedom of speech, right to bear arms and not be infringed upon, like those are rights. Everybody can own them, but like abortion's not really a right. Like you don't get a right to, whether you think it's a baby or not. In my eyes, like you don't have a right to just kill it. Because if they say, when women say my body, my choice, what about the body that's in your body? It doesn't actually have a say so. That's my whole thing. So like if it's my body, my choice, then technically the baby that can't speak right now should have the choice. Huh?
Babies don't even be developing brains that young.
But that's not the point. That's still not your body. That's the whole point. That's the point I'm at. It's still not your body. Plus, at the same time, it should just be a state issue anyway. Like, the feds shouldn't have their hand in a pot like this. They should just back off and just be like, you know what, states, do what y'all want. Because it's kind of like weed. Weed is illegal federally, but the states still say, okay, in California, you can get weed. Colorado, weed. Las Vegas, you can have weed. But if the federal government just said, weed, we're taking our hands out, it's legal everywhere, then the states that don't want it legalized can just say, all right, it's banned here, and the states that want it can just say, you guys can have it here.
Isn't that what's going on right now, though, with abortion laws? But the thing is, it's harder to
exactly,
get
that's
passed,
it.
though. It would be different if it was accepted everywhere, but only certain states had to say they don't want abortion.
Certain states say, we want to ban it outright. Some say, well, after the heartbeat. Some states will say after the first trimester.
Because in Georgia, it's after 6 weeks, right?
Something like that.
I think that all girls should be able to get an abortion if they choose to.
Women
only because it's like, come on, bro. It depends on if they get into like contraceptives, like Plan B's gonna be banned and all that. And if so, then that'll be some bad news for a lot of people.
He said it'll be some
because
bad
I
news.
know, like, it would have been way more people getting pregnant in middle and high school and all that, John. Like,
but
it's saw people getting pregnant. It would have been people getting.
The
pregnant.
thing
Yeah, all
is
of us
like
would have been
the
having
thing
babies
is
in,
like
like, middle
people
school.
aren't taking they're not taking accountability. They're acting as if like
this is the only option to get pregnant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're acting like this is the only way that they cannot have children. You get what I'm saying? Like you could choose. There's plenty of contraceptives. There's plenty of, you could just not have sex. You could choose who you have sex with. So like
I say just have sex with people you want to have kids with. And then people say, well, I'm not financially responsible. Then You know the consequences
if you,
of having sex.
I'm about to say, if you never financially, to me, honestly, bro, if you,
There's no way you can really spin it to me, because it's
bro,
like,
if you don't like, this is just me personally, like, if you aren't where you want to be financially, you got no business being in a relationship. You got no business having sex, because you know what all this stuff leads to. So it's just like, you got to be more.
So where you want to be financially?
If you can't take care of yourself, how can you even take care of another kid?
Well, that's not what I meant though. Like,
but see, people want the pleasure of just being able to sleep with whoever, and then when it
And
comes to
take
like,
no-
I can't take care of myself, but I'm gonna sleep with whoever.
Exactly.
And then they get pregnant. It's like, now I'm inconvenienced, and it's like
They want to do what they
That's
want,
what
but
comes
not
with it.
take the consequences of what comes with it.
I think that people should be able to have sex, all that stuff, but they just gotta be smart. Like, you can't just be nutting at every girl. Like,
But it's
or
a consequence
doing
for
stuff
that.
like Yeah, it's a consequence. I mean, that's known though. You nutting if you
It's-
go around nutting in girls.
if
you
having
know,
sex never resulted in a baby, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like, let's think about
But I
this.
feel like everybody should be able to have the option to get an abortion if you want an abortion.
Let's think about equality for a second, right?
Unless
This
it's
hasn't
after
even
the-
been.
I don't believe in the afterbirth, like, abortions. That just
But see, the
weird.
Democrats are even trying to pass, like, they put
Bring
inside
up-
some law where they said you can have an abortion even after the baby's viable and after it's born. So it's like you can have the baby and still decide
Yeah,
it's time to abort.
that
Or
I
the
don't
baby,
agree with.
like,
Wait,
the
what
baby
you
can-
mean have the baby? And
No,
stuff?
they
have the
literally
baby,
have
they
it. Like, they
kill
were
it,
trying to
yeah.
pass a law. I think it got struck down.
But
Where
what
they
you
said
mean?
that,
like, it's out the womb.
It's out
yeah,
the
it's
womb.
out the womb.
So how
still
can you
abort.
abort it if it's
They kill it.
They
How
kill
can
it.
you
Yeah, they
kill it
kill
if
it.
it's out?
Yeah,
That
like,
don't
I'm
make
not
no.
even joking.
That's
that don't make no
wicked.
sense.
But that's
But-
where abortion leads to, because it starts off with my body, my choice. Every woman should have the right to do this, and then it just leads into literally we could just get rid of the baby at any point and just be like, my choice.
If you already done had a baby, that's a whole different thing. But this is the thing, though, right? Let's think about equality for a second. Like, so let's think about men, right? When you impregnate a woman, a man has no birth rights, meaning he can't tell the woman to have the baby or to not. So let's say if you impregnate a woman and you know you can't afford to have a baby, if you say, no, you shouldn't have this baby, blah, 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 she can still have the baby knowing good and well that you already said, no, I can't support this baby, I can't do this, I can't do that, and she can still have it and put you on child support. Meanwhile, you have no say so. Or say if you did want to have the baby and she said, no, I don't want to have this baby, so I'm not gonna have it. So like men have no rights. So with this is basically saying now women basically it's an equal playing ground at this point. You get what I'm saying?
Well, my whole thing is when they say men don't get a say so, it's like we lay down with you and there are consequences for what we did. Then on top of that, let's say you had a girl, right? And you found out she was pregnant. You were like, oh, I'm finna have a kid. And then she said, no, I'm aborting. And you were like, no, like, I don't think that's the right decision. She's like, my body, my choice. And she got rid of it. You would still feel the emotional, like, dang, she really went ahead and did that. I really wanted a kid, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then when they say men don't get a say so, it's like, I still feel the same, consequences and responsibilities that even though I'm not carrying a baby, like, I still feel it. But then,
they love to say it takes two to have a baby, right? They love to say that, but then when it comes to a situation like this, all of a sudden is the men have no right to say what we should do.
I feel like abortion, how it was beforehand, was perfectly fine.
How was it beforehand?
You get the plan B. If the plan B don't work, then you
but
get
the plan B, they still.
the $500 abortion pill that you can get before it's like a couple months or like a couple weeks in. It's like $500. Both sides pay $250.
Both sides.
Or if the girl don't want to pay.
But you know good and well that the girl is probably gonna say you go have a baby. It ain't no have it.
But not even that. Dylan said abortion was good beforehand. Nothing has changed except for the federal government said we don't have anything to do with it. Like in Georgia, they said after 6 weeks you can't have an abortion.
No, what changed is you can't have abortions no more.
No, it's not. That's
certain
false.
states.
The states that said you can't have abortions said that before.
But something changed.
Nothing's changed.
See, we're getting in real time. What you call it, Chad?
Uneducated outrage. Yeah, so like the federal government before they said, okay, abortion is a constitutional right? States like Georgia said you have 6 weeks and then you can't abort. States like Texas said you can't do it at all. States like California said you can wait until the third trimester or second trimester. And literally all the Supreme Court did was go, we said it's a protected right for everyone, even though other states are doing what they want. So we're just going to take our hands out of it and just leave it up to the states because they were doing that anyway. And people are outraged, like they said, it's banned everywhere. Like, you cannot find it. Like, that's not true.
Now Plan B's, the price of it is going up like an NFT.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's going out of stock. Like Plan B's.
I don't know why people are rushing to buy Plan B's like that.
You didn't know that?
No. But see, that's another problem that, like, people took this.
It's ignorant.
Yo, it's so
I
weird.
still go off for about 50.
That's like when the COVID first came out and people was buying tissues for no reason.
Yeah, it's like, why are y'all buying Plan B's? Like, what does that have to do with abortion? Like, buying Plan B's has nothing to do with abortion.
They said they were working on doing stuff for contraceptives, though. So
they say that, but they're not finna do. What, they gonna take away condoms?
If they take away condoms,
then that's just like, what are they doing at this point? But that's not gonna happen.
That'd be who you voted for.
That's okay. There. So at the end of the day, that's all that y'all voted for that.
That's not what they're gonna do. They're not gonna do that.
If they take away Plan
they literally
B,
just took their hands out
birth
of this
control and all that, then that'd be kind of.
They're not gonna.
That'll
do
be
that.
next level,
that literally wouldn't make sense.
But then everybody would be from now on. If you put your meat in somebody, you might as well get ready to have a baby on the way.
I mean, or just sleep with the person that you would want to have kids with, or just wait until marriage.
Here's the thing,
literally,
though. A lot of people, because I
all.
literally seen a tweet that said, we should have the right to sleep with whoever we want to sleep with. We should have the right to have sex. It's like they want to be 304s with no consequence. That's basically what it is. So that's why, my boy, he says 304 V Wade. That's all it is.
It's not even. It's not even only women though. Like it's men responsibility too. Like if men slept with people who they deem were, I would raise a family with you.
But I mean, like, if we being realistic,
he said if we being realistic
back in like high school though.
Okay.
He said
everything would have been totally different if we couldn't get like.
But who said they would have gotten pregnant? I mean, if they would have gotten pregnant, I'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna have a kid.
He said I'd have been like, I'm gonna have a kid.
I mean, for real. I just been like, I mean, I wouldn't like want to kill
it. If they ain't have condoms, Plan B's, abortion.
But nobody said nothing about condoms.
But see, but people also are failing to realize that there's stuff like foster cares, orphanages. Now, although those may be like, you know, like people argue with me in my DMs saying orphanages and foster cares are so bad for kids. I'm like, but they're alive. Like, they actually had a chance to live life. Yeah, it may have been a smaller, like a lower quality of life, but they're still alive. Like, okay, would you rather be missing an arm and a leg and be alive, or would you just kill you off because you lost your arm and a leg? Like, just because your quality of life is low doesn't mean that you're still not having.
Me personally, life. I would rather be killed off.
I was about to say I don't agree with that. Because we were talking to this man Chad, trying to tell him about quality of life and why you shouldn't, like, you should be able to have abortions.
But who am I to judge? Like, what is considered quality of life?
If you're having a baby that's like deformed or like not like deformed, but like has like a heart problem where it can only like get so much blood, and the doctor's like, it's pretty much, not saying it's pretty much gonna die, but I mean, you had that kind of. Some people don't want to deal with that emotional turmoil.
If I had,
I would feel like that's a lesson, and that was a blessing, and it'll die when it gets out the womb. Let's say it lives a month. I'll be like, well,
I can see me on the other hand. I'd be mad, and like, I'd be more hurt if I had the baby and then I had it and I knew it was gonna die like a month, and then it died in a month. I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's a lesson and a blessing.
He said
I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be like, but that was my kid. Like, I'd rather them just abort it beforehand before I even get attached to it like that. And I'd have been like, damn. Even though I had that thought of.
So let's say you had a perfectly healthy baby and it still died after a month.
If they said it's perfectly healthy, I did everything I could and it still died. That's when I'm like, all right,
that's what I'm saying. So
there's nothing I could do about that. It's like,
that's what I'm saying. So the quality of life, they could be like, oh, it could die after a month because of his heart condition. After a month, it goes to live a healthy and normal life, even though it may have like he has to go to the doctor a couple times.
Yeah, that's it. That's that risky to take.
I mean, it is, but I mean, I don't know. Like
I'm all for women having the. If everybody if people are pro-choice, cool. You can have the choice. You can do what you want. I don't agree. I just like the video I showed you. He was like, what are y'all there like pro-choice? He was like, I'm pro-life. You're like, wow, what a bigot. So you think women being raped? And it's like, if people looked at the abortion statistics, bro,
we
like,
gotta break it down.
70 to
Pull
80,
out the statistics.
70 to 80% of abortions are like inconvenience. They financially don't have the money and some other stuff. Rape
Only
and
one-
like incest are like
1%.
1% to 3%. Yeah, it's like.
People love to use the straw man argument and
You
a
said
lot.
a straw man.
Yeah, that's what it's
straw
called.
man means you use the like most emotionally grabbing point of the statistic, but it's no real like.
But then they're gonna say, "So you're saying that rape is okay?" You
Like
know
they
that's
said,
what they're gonna
they
say.
said, "Oh, so you support rapists? So you're really a rapist?" And I'm like, "What?" Like, all I said is I prefer life. Like,
I think that you should have a choice. I think the choice is fair.
Now, me personally, like, I don't lean either
then
way
it's
because,
just like,
to be completely
you do
honest,
what
I
you
really
feel.
don't care
You do
either
what
way.
you feel is best. Don't just be out here though, just aborting babies after they.
but see, people are using it as like a form of birth control to have no consequence. That's the problem. When you give people a little, they take a lot. It's just like the LGBT community. Okay, they want the gay marriage and all that. Cool, that's fine. Do what you got to do. And then it led into now we got to teach this in the schools. Then it led into you're transphobic because you're not going along with the agenda. Then it's turned into well, I'm a trans woman and I only want to date straight men. That makes them straight. That doesn't. Like they're trying to brainwash people for some of this stuff. Like they,
It's
they,
just
they
too much
take a little and
Or
you
like
get a lot.
Chaz said, "Amen," and they women.
Yeah, that not I said that.
Wait,
That's
what?
that
Wait,
dude
what?
said.
What?
Somebody within Congress, they were like, they said a prayer at the end of like the session, and you know, Congress is so woke that the dude, he was like, you know, like you end a prayer like Amen. He was like Amen and a woman, and they were like, what? I was like, what? I'm still looking for the statistics, but
Bruh,
That's
it's
just
a
because-
chart.
It's
bruh.
only because America and places inside America allow people to do all that freedom thinking.
Where, but
Not
like,
freedom thinking as in like, oh, they can think they want. I
it's
think
just
you
a
should be
it's
able
a
to
it's
think
a
what you
it's a
want, but it's
progressive
like,
mindset.
it gets too.
But it gets
too
to the
wild.
point where it's like, y'all, we're using emotion to try to create short-term solutions to long-term problems, and they don't think
Yeah,
about.
because didn't they say that this can't be overturned? Like this is set in stone, or they can overturn it?
they've overturned it. It's over with. Like, so when people are out there protesting, I don't know what they're protesting for.
Yeah, they can't protest no more.
Okay, here we go. Here's a chart right here. Let me see. From 9 different.
That's kind of crazy though.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is it right here.
So if we
It's
look,
less than 1%.
it's 0.5.
No, no.
Zoom
This
in, Chad.
this is the thing right here.
Zoom in, Chad.
So like, less than 1%.
I'm trying to zoom. It's not letting me.
Right, you could have just. But
Look at this. Look. I'll read it.
That was a
It says the pregnancy.
Nah, I was about to read.
Point
That's a
zero.
clip right there.
So it says 0.01%. The pregnancy resulted from a incestuous relationship. I'm not even sure what that means. Somebody look at what incestuous is.
that
Point-
means like a cousin or something like that.
Or like incest.
Yeah.
0.15, the woman was raped. 0.20, the woman's life was endangered by the pregnancy. Now that you can actually have an argument. Like if the woman, here's my thing about if the woman's life is in danger. If the baby is viable and the woman's in danger of pregnancy, do whatever you can to save the woman, but also try to save the baby because the baby's viable. Now, if it's just like both are in danger, just try to save them both, you know, and we pray for the best. So
We pray for the
0.98%, there was a serious fetal abnormality. So like I guess like had a defect or so. 1.48%, the woman's physical health was threatened. 1.88%, the woman's physical health was threatened by the pregnancy. With psychological health, so like their mental state. 20.4%, the woman aborted for social or economic reasons. So like
If they couldn't take care of the
they
kid.
couldn't take care of the kids, they ain't had the money. And 74% no reason.
No reason. Elective, aka 304. That's what that means.
Yeah, like even here it says that it says
says
0.5% were victims
304.
of rape, 3, 4, and 4% were physical health problems, fetal health problems, and would interfere with education or career. So that means that like you were trying to become a lawyer and you accidentally got pregnant, so you aborted just because you want to continue your career. But that's kind of selfish. Like, I feel like most of the reasons are all like kind of selfish. 7% not mature enough to raise a child. Like Still kind of selfish to me.
So you
8%,
old enough to have sex, but not old enough.
but not raise a child. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So 8% don't want to be a single mother.
I mean, you old
Once
enough to
again,
have a
you're
child
being
when you
selfish.
like. I mean, you old enough to have sex when you're like 15.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know
but,
what happens when you have sex.
But
Everybody knows.
Everybody didn't know the first time they had sex what could happen.
Bruh, Dylan, we gotta stop it.
Yeah, we gotta stop it.
We
Bro,
gotta stop.
come on, bro.
Dylan, we gotta stop it, bro.
So 19%,
Dylan.
19%, you're done having children. If you're
we
done
gotta
having
wait.
children,
No, we gotta elaborate.
Y'all are
Dylan,
wiki.
Dylan.
The first
What
time,
what grade are we in?
First time
if
you had sex.
in 14 through 15, what grade is that?
That's like 8th and 9th.
Bro, so that's middle
I
school.
wasn't thinking about
You-
I'm gonna get a girl pregnant. No one was thinking that.
but you knew
Dylan,
that was a
you
possibility.
know that
you weren't.
you know at that age you know that a child is born through sex though. It does not.
You probably know it, but it don't click like that.
Dylan.
At those young ages, you probably more
At those young
think
ages,
about
why are you
getting
having sex in
something.
the first place?
You probably thinking more about getting something
You're in
than
8th grade.
having a kid.
Okay.
This man
So
said-
then it says 23% can't afford a baby. So 23% of the people who aborted, they just couldn't afford it. 25% not ready for a child. Now that's like,
I feel like that's a good thing. I don't think that a lot of women should be having.
if
babies.
you're not ready, then you should be
'Cause
using
women can-
either using protection or just not having
Women
sex.
can-
That's
you-
just
if
what
you
it
put
comes.
on a condom, you're on birth control, and you still get pregnant, it was meant for you to get pregnant. You just need to suck it up.
Yeah, you just need to suck it.
You were meant to
just
have
need
a
to suck
baby.
it up.
It was God's intentions.
You just need to
Plus,
suck
for
it
me,
up.
it's like if they say if in the Bible it does say. I mean, I don't have to Bible dump for everybody, but it does say in the Bible like He knew me before He even formed me. Like He knew me way before I even came about, before the plan was even created. So I'm like, well, if He knew me before He formed me, then He know whoever that is that He's created inside you before you even know it's. Before you even pee on a stick, He already knew it. So at that point, I'm like, it's kind of clear cut for me. Like
He
I
said it's
understand.
clear-cut.
Like I'm not the type of person who's like, nah, pro-choice, you're demonic, you're evil. Like
You're
I
demonic.
understand the pro-choice argument. I see everything people are talking about. I just don't see how that would lean or cater my actual direction away from pro-life. I'm just like, I kind of just like life. Like, I'd rather the baby be alive. I don't care if anything's wrong. Like, it could have problems. That's just something not to take care with. It's a lesson. Something's gonna happen. Now, if it's like,
I mean, I
If
do
you
think
want to go
anybody
with
wants a
the,
healthy
if
kid.
you want to go the route
They're
of
ready for it.
everything happens for a reason, then if you had that kid, then no matter the conditions, then you just gotta have that kid. But if you don't really have no type of like religious aspect or more or like spiritual aspect or whatever to you, then if you just want to be a 304, then that's just what it gotta be.
I feel like
Have to be
everybody
a
should have
kid.
kids when they're ready to have kids, because the women, they have to carry the kid for 9 months. The guy got to put up with the woman and
They could
put up
have
for the
postpartum.
kids. As I'm saying, you got to deal
I
with
think they
all
said
this stuff.
postpartum depression is like if the woman's not ready for a kid, she normally gets postpartum.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times, like it's a lot of stuff that it just way more than just to let people have the abortion and then not have the kid and then be like, okay.
But see,
Because what do they really lose when they not having the baby? Like they lose having to take care of the baby.
that and the emotional and physical
Yeah,
attachments.
they-
There's
I was about
a
to
whole
say
bunch
they-
of
I
stuff.
was about
You
to
know,
say
in
they
the back
do.
of your head, I aborted this baby.
But no one thinks about it like that. Like,
He said no, but
unless the baby unless they're doing that crazy shit
what you
about
mean?
when after the baby born, they still like cutting off his arms and stuff and then throwing it with the rest of the abortion babies. I'm like, the baby, if the baby comes out and it's a full baby, then it's time for you to be
At that point, it's too
father.
late. Like you
That's what
gotta
I'm saying.
have.
You can't
a
let the
kid.
baby come out
But I'm
crying and
talking-
stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, we finna throw.
But see,
him
most
in
of the
back.
argument is when is it considered a baby? I'm like, as soon as
As soon as you
pee
can
on
pee
the
a stick,
stick.
yeah, and then it says you.
So
pregnant.
we agreed that it's a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. But most people say it's a clump of cells. It doesn't,
A clump of
it doesn't have
cells.
consciousness yet. And I'm like, we all know what, like, when somebody gets pregnant, we all know it's a baby forming. Everybody knows that. It's a zygote. It's
This why we should have had.
a clump of cells.
This would have been a good opportunity to have a female guest who wants to say,
Her point.
yeah.
But I feel like most
got- hold on,
most
you got-
women are gonna say they're like either my body, my choice. They're gonna say they're like my body, my choice.
I believe that it is their body, their choice. And I believe that we have a say so. Not like I feel like dudes have say so.
But that's the thing
in
about
certain
men's
things.
rights. Like, why if they can on one hand say it takes two to make the baby, but then on the other hand say my body, my choice. The man should have a choice. The
dude should have a choice to say if he wants to have a baby or not. Even if he has sex with a girl and gets her pregnant, he should be able to be
then
like,
that's not equality.
That's what I'm saying. He should be like that.
Because like we said before, if he said I know I cannot financially take care of this baby, it's gonna be in bad conditions.
But see, it's not his body, so she can still do what she wants. She can still be like, I'm gonna just have it.
But that's what we saying about the men's rights.
Yeah.
That we saying that the man should have
and
a
that's
say.
why it should just the default to you having the kid.
That's what
then because if you default it to you have the kid, then no one can be selfish.
That's what I said. That's why
pro-life.
That's why I say the ruling that they had makes it equal. Because if the men don't have right, then the women don't have the right either.
It wasn't a right to abort in the first. It's no right. It wasn't a right in the first place. It should have just been. It's up to your state, but it should just be everybody. Like as a society, we should be like pregnancy and babies. That's a great moment. You know what I mean? Like,
but then they may come out to a whole lot of delinquency, like I was telling you before. Because
it's always gonna be delinquents. Like,
but now it's gonna be tenfold. Because now they're gonna be more people, more children in poverty, more kids in poverty. They'll be gang banging, they'll be stealing.
But I feel like now is the time to really invest into like women's support groups and women's support centers, so that way there are other options. That's
this is about to cut down on the amount of 304s though.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I think the 304s is gonna be 304s.
No, they can't.
They just gonna go to states
they're not gonna
that
get pregnant. I don't think that.
Bro, the 304s is always
the way
gonna
these
be
folks are out in the
304s,
streets protesting. Like, the
And
coochie
plus-
has to be a cemetery or a morgue because they're that upset. Like,
and jobs, some will pay for it. Like the insurance, they'll pay for
Apple and all them are
Yeah.
paying for it, I seen.
it. Yeah, so like the 304s is always like this is not gonna cut down on the amount.
I think it's gonna cut down because they're not gonna have sex with everybody though. They're gonna try to. They might try to trap. It might be a lot more.
This makes it. No, that was right. It's gonna cut down through because now people are gonna use their brain and say, "Well, I don't need to sleep with him just because."
I don't believe that.
I think they
if
gonna
I could probably have a
Bro,
baby.
we talking about bro.
You talking about
304s?
304s take everything into calculation when they try to have sex.
No,
Yes, they do.
don't.
Some
That's
of
what
them do.
if they took
Some
everything
of
into
them do.
calculation, then they wouldn't be 304s, Dylan.
Nah,
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
bro.
I don't.
They're gonna be like, They're not gonna do it just for a fun time, real quick. They're gonna have to be like, okay, he might be able to, come through in the end. It ain't gonna be no.
I don't think that's how it's going.
But I also think,
I don't
okay,
think
so
that's how it's gonna
let's
go.
say like people were like, well, if guys don't have to be there for the baby anymore, or if we have to have the
What are you
baby,
talking about?
then the guy. No, they were like, if we have to have the baby, then the guy should be there. I'm like, yeah. If the dude has the baby with you, then there should be something that says, yeah, you have to take care of it. Child support.
Yeah.
If you have a baby with somebody, then yes, you should be liable for that baby. Tie the man in it too.
I feel like
To the tango, so everybody should be responsible.
Everybody should be
have the
responsible.
baby and
Either,
both of you all paying.
either everybody responsible or nobody
I
responsible.
think they should be all responsible if they decide to have the baby. If they haven't all decided and it's like a random baby or it's like
what is a
girl is
random
like-
But see, what do you mean? Like that's where it comes back down to who's deciding to.
I feel like if people have sex and then they don't plan on having a baby, they're like, oh, that we just having sex. Like even if they're in a relationship or something, and then one day the girl be like, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm not sure if I'm trying to have a baby, and they talk and they want an abortion. I feel like that should be allowed.
go to a state that allows it.
But see, that's what takes too much. Like people
He
shouldn't
said
have,
it.
people shouldn't
If
have
it
to
takes
leave
too
their
much,
own-
then just have the baby.
People shouldn't have to leave their whole state just to go have an abortion. It's like you nutting a girl that you wasn't trying to nut in. Like you fucking a girl in the condom break, you nutting her, and then you like, dang, I gotta drive all the way to Mississippi to go get an abortion plan.
But if you already took the preventative measures not to have a baby, and the condom broke and you still got her pregnant, then it's meant for you to have the baby. That'll stop teaching you to just sleep with anybody.
See, this becomes like a spiritual / religious debate
not
versus
even
of
religious.
morality. It is
No, because they didn't even base this off religion.
No,
Yeah,
but
they
I'm
did
talking
that
about.
Bible
I'm
thing.
talking
No,
about.
they
I'm
didn't.
talking
They made
about.
this just based off.
telling you.
I'm talking about society, and that's what it comes down.
No,
to.
this comes down to in society. It's basically okay. Like right now,
Because
right now it's basically those who believe that it's not just me. There's something that's higher than me, and those were like, nah, the buck stops with me. Like I come up with my own decisions, my own stuff. I'm like, well, there's something above me, so.
So Chad, you don't be using Plan Bs or something, or you ain't never used no Plan B.
I've used the Plan B before, but after I used the Plan B, I was like, I don't really want my girl to have to go through that. I mean, because at that point, like, if I look at Plan Bs
I'll do Plan B, like take a Plan B. I'm not saying take a Plan B right now, but it's like if I'm not ready for a baby, I'll be like, I support the Plan B because I feel like it's good. Now I'm not gonna just make my girl take Plan Bs over and over.
That's what I'm saying, but Plan Bs have been abused. Like that's how it starts off.
Yeah, some people
that's why I said I felt
Plan
bad because it's
but
like
the thing about Plan Bs is
next
like,
time I could just be like, take another.
The thing,
Let's pop another one.
The thing about Plan Bs is though, for the people that try to abuse Plan Bs and stuff, they end up with not working because your body gets used to it.
That's the same way they trying to abuse the abortion. They using it as a birth control.
They exactly. They're using it as birth control. But birth control, like the actual birth control pill, like messes up women's bodies and all that. So if you don't want to be on it, then it's either I want to have kids with her, or you just wait to marry.
We also have to point out the fact that a lot of people was saying that I think it was like 30% of people who got abortion, it was multiple occasions. So for the people that was saying, oh, they got it was like one-off instances, but no, 30% of the people who get abortions, they've gotten it like more than twice, meaning that they're constantly getting pregnant and they're going to the
cemetery.
Exactly, using it as a birth control. So that means they're just out here being 304s. Like most of the time, like it's not likely that you getting raped multiple times, and every time you getting raped, you getting pregnant. It's not likely that these one-off instances is happening and you're just getting pregnant every time.
But also throughout just like American history, groups that had no rights ended up always getting rights. Like black people, we had no rights. We became 3/5 a person. Then we got rights. The baby has no rights. You could just abort it, kill it. Now it has rights. States are gonna ban it. Like if you just look at the history, every group that started off with no rights, or a group of people, or just single person that had no rights, eventually had their own set of rights because either they weren't allowed to be spoken for, and now they are. Like that's just kind of to me what it is. Like anytime I try to look at stuff like this, it's just kind of like, I mean, me personally, I'm just always going to be kind of pro-life. I don't care. Pro-choice people could be pro-choice. You could drive to a state to abort. You could figure out what you got to do. You could do whatever you have to do.
I'm not having the baby.
Like if my girl was like, I got pregnant, I'd be like, all right, let's start preparing. Time to start saving money.
He said, let's start preparing.
And get ready for whoever the name is going to be to pop on out. Like, that's kind of how I look at it. Now, yeah, I may be inconvenienced, but that's still my problem because I did all the stuff to make the baby. The baby did nothing to me.
Chad is just saying he taking ownership of what he did.
Yeah, and I'm like, it may be a blessing. I may be like, this may not be the time for me to have one, but this is my own kin. I'm going to raise them up. Like, whether I have to not eat at night and they do, fine by me. That's how I look at it. But I also want like 5 or 4 kids, so maybe 6.
This man Joey must be planning on being like a multi-millionaire or something. See, this is...
Chad's gonna let that video.
Yeah. Bring one kid.
I think that you should have babies when you're ready for babies. If you're not ready, you should be able to abort it. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't really gain that. You don't really lose nothing.
So
that's why I just keep on saying. Well,
so let's say like everybody waited to marriage, right? And then whether you were ready for a baby or not, you're married. Like it is what it is at that point.
Okay.
You shouldn't be getting married if you can't afford it either. That's what I feel. I feel like you shouldn't be doing nothing if you can't afford it.
But I feel like if you can't, I feel like waiting until you can afford something.
I feel like even you can be married though in a relationship, and I feel like some people still won't be ready to have a baby.
I mean, yeah, that may be true.
You just can't say, "Oh, we got married." You just gonna slap a baby on top.
No, but you can get married and still not be ready for a baby, and that's cool. Take the preventative measures not to have one. But just
if you married to the girl, you're not gonna be taking no precautionary measures. You're gonna be going in raw.
I'm about to say.
And y'all know if I have a family, it's the girl I'm gonna be with forever. So.
Well, we don't know that because of the 60% divorce rate.
I mean, but that's besides.
Hey, I gotta
that's
punch the
besides
facts in
point.
it.
That's besides
gotta
the
get the
point.
facts in
Yeah,
this,
well,
man.
we don't know that because
I'm saying for like the people that do get married and stay together, like
the sites.
if you end up getting pregnant, I don't think you're gonna be like, yeah, we're getting a divorce because you got pregnant. Now, I mean, some people may do that, and some
No,
people like,
that's-
oh,
I'm not saying, but I'm saying, but you said that.
You know what it's gonna do though? It's gonna expose 304s.
How?
it's already exposed them because they don't want
Exactly.
to.
I'm about to say it's already.
They don't want
No, I'm
streets
saying
angry.
like
What you mean exposed?
the ones that be cheating and stuff. Because now if they stop abortions and like contraceptives and stuff.
But it's not gonna expose them because they can still do everything that they was doing before. That's the thing.
Dylan, nothing has changed. You're making it seem like as soon as this is rule 304, I can't cheat no more. Like if you lived in Georgia and they say after 6 weeks you can't have an abortion anymore, whether she was cheating before this or not, it's still 6 weeks she can't have
That's
an
what I'm
abortion.
saying. Like it's not gonna expose nobody. 304 is not gonna all of a sudden become wiser. They gonna be 304s.
They're gonna be mad having sex. They're gonna be mad. And they'll probably end up just like abusing Plan Bs or.
Yeah, until they ban those and then what? No, I'm saying like what's if your girl?
Or they just
cheat and
live
then
in a
she
state.
can't-
They just live in a state that they could just turn to a cemetery or morgue. I mean, because if you're aborting more than 2 times, bro, like you probably just need to stop trying to like have sex. Like I can understand once, I can understand maybe twice, but if you're going beyond 2, bro, it's like you're using this as birth control.
And that's
A
the
Plan B.
statistics.
If you run into the store and buying 12 Plan
and birth
Bs,
control,
bro.
I mean,
It was just a video. Academics had posted. I forgot who it was. Sukihani, whatever her name is. Academics had just posted it, where she had bought up a whole bunch of Plan Bs. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick.
And that to me it just looks stupid because it's like, why you got so many Plan Bs on you, weirdo? Like everybody
use,
just busting in you,
they
just
use-
knocking
they-
them back like Benadryl.
They using it like it's stocks.
Dylan,
Like
you
they,
good? Why you falling asleep at the podcast? That man drifting off. It's cyberspace.
I've been so tired this whole time.
Listen, judging on we about to cut it.
I mean, we only got 4 minutes left, but I mean, these are just different perspectives, food for thought. Like I said,
I feel like women should be able to make their own choices, and I think that men should have say-sos. Not as in, oh, you have to take this abortion. Blah, blah,
So
blah.
let's say if you want men to have a say so, if she says, if you say I want you to keep it, and she says no, I'm gonna abort it, and she just aborts it anyway, would you not be mad,
I mean, I wouldn't be that.
or would you
mad.
be like, nah, baby, it's your choice?
I might be like, it's your choice, only because I'm not carrying around the baby. I'm not having to deal with all the mood swings and stuff. I gotta deal with her those 9 months, so she got to deal with the baby. Not working. I'm gonna have to be working extra, doing all this and all this stuff.
That's just something you just have to do.
You just gonna be able
You
to
just
work
gotta work
extra. Work harder.
Nah, bro. If I be like, I want
He
the baby,
said
and she
nah.
want to abort it, then I'd be like, all right.
I can't really, in my head, I just can't see.
I can't get mad at
I
that.
can't see any reason for wanting to abort it, and then when I say, well, what's the real reason? And then they always deduct it down to just because I can, and it's like that's kind of selfish.
Yeah.
Well, you can't just be nutting at girls and be like, oh, I nutted and you gotta have my baby. That's what I'm saying. The girl should be able to have a choice. So you can't just be like, oh, I want a baby, so I'm gonna nut at her, and then she'd be like, I don't want to have a baby. You'd be like, it's not your body or your choice. It's mine. You're pregnant now.
No, it's still her choice. I'm saying
Exactly.
that I'm still pro-life. Like, it's your choice to do what you want, but I'd still prefer it to live. Like, that's my whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
get what you're
saying,
saying, though.
you better not. Like, no. I'm just saying.
That's how you make it
It's
sound.
your choice to do
Chad
what
made it
you
sound
want.
like if he say,
You
I want that
better.
baby, you better have that baby.
You better.
Yeah, it's your choice to do what you want, but I would still choose life. But I would also date a girl who's wants life. Like, so it wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't be like, I want it, and she's like, I'm aborting it. Because then as soon as it's aborted, it's like, nah, we kind of done. Like, you're doing your own thing. Like, you don't even care about what I want and we together in a relationship. Like,
So that's a red flag for you.
it's not a red flag. Like, you
It's
could be
a red
pro-choice.
flag.
But, like, if I'm with a girl, if she likes me, she more than likely will be like, I'll have his kid. But if she like, nah, I'm gonna abort his baby, it's just like, yo, like,
It's not about
What
abortion.
if it's about the
right?
financial?
I was about to say,
all
it
like
gotta
mental,
be.
like,
It's
then we gotta dig deep. We gotta cut back liberal our means and make sure we make some change.
We gotta cut back.
So you gotta start doing yoga.
And start going to like a support system
He said
and
doing yoga.
find a support group out there. Find some people who can.
All right,
support
so
us.
let's vote before the thing is over.
What you mean? Vote?
Do we think that it was good? It was a good choice for them to overturn it, or do you think it's a bad choice?
I'll go first. I think it was good because it took the federal government out of it, decentralized it, put it back to the states. So like states have the decision, and it gives people a little bit more responsibility. And I'm for life, so it's a W.
Me personally, I don't care either way, but for the sake of, I think if they, I don't know, if they want to abort it or do whatever, I mean, they can still do it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, Donovan's
at the point where he's like, it's really their choice, but you kind of lean more towards life, but you're kind of like, I can't do anything about it.
It's kind of like it is.
I think it's a little extra to have to drive to different states now just to have an abortion.
Well, okay, this is something that I heard from one dude where he asked him like, "Are you okay with women aborting?" Because they, like I said, there was a law that they were trying to pass where you could abort at 9 months or after the baby is born. He was like, I think it's the woman's choice, their choice, their body, their choice. But he's like, what is your opinion? Not what the woman wants. What is your opinion? So what are y'all opinions? Not, well, for the woman, she can do what she wants. How do you feel about it?
I feel that women should be able to have the choice.
But that's not what we're asking.
But listen, I'm saying I don't feel like women should be able to have the choice of that after 9 months you get to abort the baby. That throws me off.
Well, it started off that abortions had restrictions, but now they don't want any. They just want to be able to abort at any point.
Yes, you can't. I don't think you should be able to abort when the baby.
But that's where the slippery
I don't think you
slope
should be able to abort the baby after 3 months because that's when the $500 pill start working. It's like after 2 months.
the $5 pill.
No, $500 pill that you can take and that kills the baby. But that's like it before it even gets.
But at that point, it's kind of already formed.
I think I'm saying after 2-3 months, then I don't think that people should be aborting that baby. But if they want the choice
if it's their choice.
If they had the choice and they had the money and they really want to because they don't want to take care of it, then I think they should be able to.
It is what it is, man.
I was gonna say because it's like
it's not my fight.
I think it should have just. I think they should have just not even played with that. That's a little risky.
He said that's a little
What,
risky.
the Supreme Court? They didn't do anything. I keep explaining that they didn't do anything. It would be like you have a rule when you come over at your house that there are no shoes. Like, okay, let's say at your house there are no shoes. Let me actually make it different.
Yeah,
in your neighborhood, everybody must cut their lawn with a lawnmower, right? Mm-hmm. And you say that's the law in the neighborhood. Everybody has to cut the grass with a lawnmower. But you at your house, you say, you know what? I like hand cutting my grass with a pair of scissors. And you do that. No one has a problem with it because they say at Dylan's house, Dylan does what he wants. Then the homeowner association comes through and says, you know what? Nobody, you and let's say a couple others in the neighborhood cut grass with scissors. And then they say, you know what? We don't care. Y'all, every house does what they want. And they get mad that you're cutting your grass with scissors and they using a lawnmower. Like, it's still their choice to.
No, I think,
it's hard to explain because it's not nothing dying.
No.
That was a horrible analogy. Just but what I said, like, that didn't make any sense. I went around in circles.
That's a clip right there. But nah, I was saying though, it would be like,
I don't know where I was
use that same analogy, but change it to where instead of them saying y'all can all cut y'all grass how y'all want to with scissors or lawnmower, but y'all have to vote inside y'all house. So you say, I like when Chad's the only person that goes out to Yon. He said, Lon. He says, he's the father. He says, I prefer to cut my grass with scissors. His wife says, well, I mean, it's just some grass. Just cut it with a lawnmower. And his kids say, yeah, Dad, you're weird for using scissors. Use a lawnmower. Then there's no more hand cutting grass in your house. How would you feel?
L analogy.
Yeah, it was a bad analogy for us to even like go off of. I'm sorry.
He said it's hard to do because nobody dying.
But I'm saying like if they outruled you that fast in the household that's technically your state in the neighborhood. Your house is your state, but they outruled you like your kids and your wife. Then it would be like you would be sitting out there cutting grass with your lawnmower. You wouldn't be able to allow to use your scissors no more.
No. I guess the real analogy is there. Okay, so like pretend like there's somebody that's on a higher stool than us, and they say, and we just use the abortion. They say abortion is everybody's right? Whether you say I don't want it, whether Donovan in his house says, you know what, we're all for it, and then I'm like, I don't want it, okay? Then that person above us says, you know what, since y'all 3 households were doing what y'all wanted to do anyway, you said you were for it, Donovan said he wasn't, Chad, you said you were for it, we're just going to step out the equation, y'all do what y'all been doing. And then you see people get outraged that they just stepped away and said, y'all do what y'all do anyways.
I don't think the whole point is about whether or not abortion is legalized. I think it's about the state.
So I think the
It's
main
not. People are mad at the
so
states.
the main
Because if they were mad at the states, they would have been mad.
so
Which some people were like, Texas is doing a lot for abortion. They're making it illegal. And they were like, but I live in Georgia. I live in California. Now the Supreme Court did this. They're just like,
So I think the main issue here is, what does this overturn actually change? Like, what was the purpose of them?
this just polarizes the nation. It just makes states that were mostly, like, I would say Republican and conservative are going to lean more towards it's illegal here, so more people are just going to be having babies. And states that are really liberal, like California, New York, Chicago, they're now become sanctuary states for abortions. Everybody come here to abort, and it's like people whose ideologies already align with that are just going to live in those states. Like, you're going to migrate to those states. Now, they try to strip your rights every time in Cali and New
You
York.
said
So,
they strip
while they strip your rights and you just abort, places like Texas, yeah, they may not restrict, like, they may say it's illegal, but at least you have more freedoms. Like, you can at least carry your gun everywhere. California and New York, they make it almost impossible. You can just, freedom of speech, California and New York, you gotta have the shot to even eat in a restaurant. Like, there's just a bunch of stuff that's just like, I mean, you could just go over there and abort, but you're not gonna have no rights.
Yeah, I guess that pretty much sums it.
Y'all let us know what y'all
That pretty
think
much
down
sums
in
it
the
up.
comments section. I mean, not selection,
outta here?
section. Make sure y'all let us
That
know.
man
what y'all
going
think.
in. That man
that
going
contact
in. You a
section.
fan? But
Comment
yeah.
section.
That is, yeah.
Damn.
Let us, I don't know. This man killing over here. Let
I'm trying to tell y'all to make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications.
Share the video.
Yeah, let us know what y'all think in the comment section down below, man. And that's been episode 2. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. Y'all can leave y'all social medias. I'm gonna put them in the description.
Make sure to show some love. It's your boy Dale. All that stuff. Make sure to show some love to him. The C clothing too. Gotta make sure I plug that.
And it's your boy Joey Chado, Chad, Joey Chad as all platforms. Really just Instagram, YouTube. You can find me at Chad Beck. This has been episode 2.
How they gonna
Follow
find you
the
at
TikTok,
Chad Beck?
follow
You don't
the
have
Instagram.
nothing
I'm about
that's
to say,
called
Don-
Chad Beck.
Don-
Yeah, I do
gotta-
my YouTube. It's
Y'all know
Chad
gotta
Beck.
plug himself too.
My YouTube's Chad Beck. Like, you type Chad Beck in YouTube, I come up. Alright, staying.
This you can type in That Man Don on all platforms with 2 N's. That Man 2 N's Don on Instagram, and make sure you follow us on TikTok. Man, we got the what's it called? The Wait and Q podcast TikTok page where we post clips and all that. Make sure you follow us on there. Yeah, man, that's all we got for y'all today. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll see y'all for the next episode.
Oh, and also leave a comment on topics y'all wanted to cover, because I think next video we're doing conspiracy theories. That's Dylan's topic.
This man
so
let
we're
us
gonna
throw
go ahead
everything
and
on
knock that
Dylan.
out. So yeah, pretty much, yeah. Okay, all right. See y'all.